Greetings. Joining us. Okay, so this is one I've been trying to do for a while. I keep forgetting about it. LSD, Astral realms. So people are doing a drug trip, whatever it might be. They feel, an alien. If you do drugs, an alien shows up somewhere. I guess it has to be LSD or some kind of other, probably shrooms. I don't know. I'm not an expert on it, but I've heard of stories of it. So, I looked into it quite a bit about a year ago. I haven't done anything on this in a while. So maybe I'll do a little bit more in the future. I have to get back on my drug knowledge. So yeah, if you want to find the aliens, just ayahuasca, I believe, is another one. Obviously go into a dream realm or some kind of psychedelic realm, and there's an alien, and sometimes they're trying to possess you or whatever it might be, or talk to you, whatever. It's a little weird. Yeah, so we'll do what we can with that. Machine elves, I'm not too familiar with them. I did channel them a long time ago. What success, I'm not sure about, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Some are big on their drugs. That's all. Critiquing machine elves. And Jim Morrison, the Doors. So he did John Lennon yesterday, and Jim Morrison is spiritual musician. You can say, want to be a poet, got into songwriting. I feel like I have some kind of energy connection to him, which I didn't realize before. I saw the movie; it wasn't that exciting, but I have to watch it again. It seemed like interesting in the middle of it, but they know to have the cops on the stage and things like that. So, and he would end up going to jail. So, but on a spiritual level, he was, at least from what I can feel, pretty protected, very connected. So kind of like a psychedelic. You go from LSD to a psychedelic musician to black goo, AI DNA. I wasn't really looking for this one. Black goo's come and go. I haven't really got that deep into it, or not at all. But it is definitely causing chaos in our reality. It's in other dimensions, but it is. I mean, you can say it's here in some form. It is in the movie Prometheus, which is kind of strange. If it doesn't have any significance, what's it doing in that movie, which had about aliens? I mean, they could have had just aliens and dissolve into basically black. According to the movie Prometheus, black goo helped create humanity, which is an archon energy, but you can take that wherever you want. There's always going to be mysteries of reality. We're never really going to have a full grasp of everything, just the way it is. It's just a lot of, we're always going to have our theories, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the black goo would tap into that, not in a fear-mongering way or anything like that, to maybe get a little bit more insight into it, at least from my point of view, and it's like a million different points of view. You can say black goo is connected to the secret space program, for those that are connected to that realm. So you have secret space program people, your flat earth people, your Joe Biden people, so forth. Fucking Joe Biden. It's awesome. The comedy continues on. So, the black goo, jeez. It has something to do with our skyscrapers, where they're built and all that. is like even the skyscrapers are built as like an antenna, absorbing energies of people. We really should get rid of a lot of this stuff. I know they're toppling down statues and all that for racism. I understand that. And a lot of that's justified. But what about all these buildings in downtown and all that's messing with people, mind manipulating people, and so forth? What about that? Those are still there for some reason. So I guess maybe when we're, maybe in a couple hundred years when we're not here anymore, maybe some people have started to snap out of, delusional reality. So yeah, jeez. And they come after, when they manipulate a reality, they come from all directions. They're doing a bang up job with it, that's for sure. Okay. Okay, so I'm talking about comment private sessions. I have this scheduler here at the shop. I forget where I'm at right now. Jeez. I'm like on the 10th or 13th for some people. I would say the 10th. I also have a new section here. I have Akashic that recently added stuff. That's some of this. Also, Akashic energy is just kind of experimenting with different ideas. I'm going to have other stuff coming in too. We're Akashic, Zeta, Ocean, Akashic. Just it's a different energy than just doing a message from them. It's a little bit more deeper, you can say technical, so it's an experiment. I have some other ideas I'm going to put up there too eventually. I'm just going to do some experimenting ideas. Different artists. Okay, so this is Jim Morrison, obviously. Those are not aware. Musician. I don't have a thing here, but anyway. That's when he's talking to cops. Of course, it's a lot. I think it was a lot more. I guess that's when he's getting arrested for lewd conduct. This is so yeah, he's like a poet. I felt like he wasn't taken seriously because of his looks, so he kind of downgraded his looks when he got older. Because he just seen it as a symbol, and he felt like there's a lot more to it than that. So yeah, and he died like at 27. So there's a lot of mysteries of how he died and everything. You can go on and on for that one. I guess he did an acid trip or something like that. I can't remember. So he thought he was going to die first off. So Jimi Hendrix died. I forgot who else died. There was somebody else. I don't know if it was. I don't think it was Elvis. It was somebody else. He figured he was the third one to die, but I can't remember who the other person was. Jimi Hendrix was definitely one of them. And Jim kept thinking that he was on his way out. He would even fake his death. So you can say it was kind of manifesting it, sort of, but you already knew it was coming. So, well, it's like, what else does he have? He has his music. He can't do what he wants to do. So yeah, just come in, do your music, and go out. So obviously, he could have lived a lot longer, but I'm not sure how well that would have went. Sometimes it's easier just to come in, do your thing, and get out of here. Of course, it didn't go so well on his death and everything. So, all right, going to the LSD energies and open up other realm altogether. And I know so many people wanted about the future and everything. I don't know. It's going to be the same old. So many people are thinking they want to see the future. They want to see all this, the bright side of, it's just going to be the same thing over and, until, I don't know, whatever you want it to be. Your future is wherever you want it to be. How about that? So, all right, we're going to LSD, energy, astral realms, and go from there. So, all right, blessings. Greeks, the Arcturians. Yes, your psychedelic realms. It is of the higher astral, the higher dimensions. It is higher fourth dimension. Some of you go even to the 12th dimension. Of course, that's a little bit difficult to handle, but some have actually reached that point. So it's why you connect to those realms. Why do aliens come to you? Because you're already connected to them already. It's just letting you know who you know. Of course, you might not give a full detail of it. Some of the beings are a little bit trickster vibrations in the LSD, but those are those that are not aware of they don't know how to protect themselves. So there's a lot of manipulation, of course. Well, they try to. It's another way of how you're elite to manipulate your reality. The LSD realm is also where many of the elite live. So, which it makes it a little bit more complicated. Well, at least in the physical realm. Because in the physical realm, you think it should look a certain way. But in the astral realm, it looks very different. So there are elitist realms in the psychedelic astral realm or the LSD realm that you're tapping into. Because you're still on this world. It's just that you're tuning into a different reality. And yes, a lot of elitist vibrations are, of course, going to be there to make sure that you stay here on this world, do what they want you to do, not to be freed of their system that they spent a long time building. So they take prison realms and from other societies, other realities, and bring them here and shut you down based on in the astral plane. And so you do LSD, you actually see it. So sometimes you're seeing a prison guard to keep you in this realm. So they're going to play tricks around you to make sure you stay here. So you are actually seeing further out of what's going on. You're seeing beyond the third dimensional layer. Not an easy place to see, of course. Even those that are already astrally aware. It's not an easy place to tap into. So doing an acid trip connecting to those that are keeping your world in prison is quite the trip when you think about it. But once again, people don't know what to perceive it as. What is it exactly? Yes, you might have growth, of course you are, but also there's a controls mechanism that's connected to it to keep you here. Obviously, there are many that overdose on LSD. I believe they do, and others, and they do actually go into those realms. Do they get trapped? Not always necessarily. It all depends. Um, yes, yeah, that's a little tricky situation there, but yeah, it's like they do their drugs and they can't let go of on a spiritual level. That's where they want to go. Now, yes, those that have died through overdose, when you do a LSD energy, most likely you can tap into that. Not an easy connection, but those that have died of a drug overdose, you can see them in that realm sometimes. It's something to think about, but always to be careful when you're doing these type of substances. The little goes a long way. It's just because. Well, that shows also the higher realms aren't always the safest places either. Your planet obviously is a lot more devilish, but in fifth dimension, it can be the same way too, and higher. It gets more sophisticated, but you're still in the third dimensional mindset. So basically, what we are seeing is many humans wanted to see more of the astral realm. Yes, without doing the LSD would be good because your government uses it all the time for MK Ultra type of programs for your society to create your society. The other reason why our government gives drugs to people in general is to heighten, yes, to give powers to those, like to strengthen those to keep you in this reality. So for celebrities, news people, whatever it is, to keep the show going on. Now, if they tap out, well, they'll just get another one to replace them. So there was a lot of hard drug energies in your past. I believe some of you are aware of it, of course, now, but definitely in your past, obviously. You just have to look it up. Especially around the 70s. The 70s played a big role in locking your world down. And because you saw the spiritual side of the 60s, that did cause a lot of difficulties. Of course, they were shooting a lot of people during that time, too. That shows a lot of manipulation. The shadow government wasn't afraid to hide itself at that time. But this moment, you'd be surprised, the whole era, like the 1970s, as disco as it was, still had a higher frequency, but it wasn't perfect. But it was literally designed to slowly shut down, put you more and more under a control mechanism. Not to say those in the 70s are, if some of you tap into those timelines, the 70s, the 60s, before that was easier. Wasn't perfect, but it was still easier to mingle with society. Trust was a little bit easier and so forth. Now it's becoming more and more prison-like, as you can see, done by design. Yes, humans are policing each other these days. You've seen it more and more, and they're trying more ways to doing that through the whole situation that's happening here at this time. So we are seeing the prison system enhancing itself. There are even video games are used as a prison reality tool to just keep you in virtual reality. Who needs to go outside when you can look at your computer and all that and stay plugged in? So it's all around you. So LSD trips, those that are comfortable with it, yeah, it all depends on what type of intentions you put in, what you connect with. Sometimes it can be very kind of plain, like, wow, I'm not even anywhere. Well, that sometimes means that your vibrations at that level now. So of course you add more to the dose. Obviously, you gotta be careful with those type of things. Of course, your government is known to abuse drugs for test subjects, even presidents. Of course, I'm not going to tell you about that. So, blessings. Greetings. I'm Jim Morrison. At least the consciousness of Jim. So I wasn't allowed to be as wooed as I'd like to be, such as like pissing on the audience. They probably actually love it. Defecating. That's bad, isn't it? It's all in the fun of it all. You can say as a musician, I did get tired of being a musician. Well, because I was not appreciated for the artist that I was, or is, or was. So I felt neglected. So after a while, you get kind of tired of the whole system. And you feel like also you're being manufactured, like you're being used. And I did see a lot of elitists in my travels because some of them were trying to program me mentally to do their bidding, like advertisements, to keep the show going on that you call your reality. So you can say I'm like a star child. I am hidden, as you are, as many of you. Now, of course, I was put out in the public as a symbol, but internally, as many of you know, I was alone, just like many of you. Even feeling neglected. I mean, literally, the system or at least the music business, could care less of what I thought, as long as I make it money and be a rag doll for them, a puppet, basically. Jimi Hendrix went against that system. Obviously, he had help in his death. Let's put it that way. I believe they often actually. Some might say differently. In my exit, I'm not going into details of that. It wasn't pretty. I am in a place I do see Prince every now and then. That's a weird Joe right there. I thought it was a little strange myself, but Prince takes it to a whole nother level. But with me, I would go into the music and shift the vibrations, like change the energy of the earth, as music has the power to do so. Nowadays, as you see music, much of it, yeah, is cabal connected. They don't want you to have any fun here. They want you to do what they want you to do. And many do it. Some of you are going against it. Obviously, it's not as exciting as it once was. Even the 1970s had some psyop energies connected to it. Disco, that was, yeah, from my perspective, was a government test. See how they can manipulate society, and it worked. So they're just worrying of how they can psychologically screw with humanity. Gets a little bit screwed up there. From what I can see, there are, yes, CIA documents of how they can manipulate humanity through entertainment. Nothing new for many of you. But it gets a little bit, I wouldn't say scary, but it gets a little bit. They really push it. Yeah, you are all actors in a play, and those that are playing your society are kind of boring. The people that are running your world are misfits of no creativity. They don't, yeah, they even during my time, they don't want you to be that creative. They want you to sell stuff, but it doesn't mean creativity really matters. As you see in the current world you're in right now. They just want to use what you worked in the past and copy it and send it to other musicians so they go. Now others have grassroots have found a way around it. They might not be as popular, and some actually do get popular organically, but many don't. So your direction here, I don't know, just be as wild as you can be. And people say you only live once. Well, in this incarnation, yeah, but many of you do come back pretty quickly. Some of you come back as little rock stars. It all depends. I just, that's all I have. Greetings. Yes, we are the consciousness of the black goo, as you call it. Well, we come in to change DNA. We are part of the chemtrails that are in your skies. The chemtrails is obviously to rewrite DNA, maybe not for everyone, but there is a network of manipulation, of course, to keep a certain type of mindset going on. For you to plug in, like you get activated by the program. The program is like a blueprint of your realm. Obviously, you don't see it physically, but in the astral realm, you can actually see the blueprint of your timelines and your reality. Some of you might be able to tap into it. It might be a little bit overwhelming, especially in a third dimensional form. But basically, the chemtrails or black goo, yes, is there to synchronize you with the plan. So some of you do see the timeline, the main timeline, and it literally looks like green plans, like you would build a building, you have a green background and you have the buildings, blueprints as they call it. I see it as green, but you can see it wherever you want. Blueprints of your reality. Let's put it. You say it's green prints. I just see it as green. Well, the black goo has to do with worlds that have lost their power. They're no longer the same anymore. So they go into this substance, they add their DNA to it to bring, to bring it back to them. So they pull off your vibrations to rebuild their societies. Obviously, you're not seeing it on a physical level, but it is happening. There's other realms. This basically is AI technology, nanotechnology to control your realm. So you can say it's created through black hole technologies. Yes, it gets a little bit strange there, doesn't it? Your Arab world has a lot of black goo connected to it. I know it's once again sounds a little strange. Has to do with society building, but also control of the mindset, the rules. A lot of the rules that are set here are set off planet. It's like we have control over this world because they accepted our manipulation. So now we can go to town. So taking over your planet is like winning the lottery. To have that high of manipulating society. So think of like elitists on other planets or ships, and they just get this buzz of how they can control society. They love it. Now, your elites here in the physical, do they ever wear the elites outside your world? Not really. Not well. They know something's going on, but they don't have a full understanding of it. And if they do get an understanding of it, they minds get erased and things of that kind. So, yes, you're going into a time of basically science fiction movie is now your reality. Nothing new there, but that realm is going to start to make itself more clear. So many of you are here to not be a part of that, be the outside of it. That's why some of you feel like you're not achieving what you like to achieve. But you're not in the system, though, the control system. Not that you would be part of the controllers, maybe you would go against it. But being outside of it, you're less affected of it. Even if you have to live among society, you have a mind thinking about aliens, channeling, metaphysical realms. That puts you outside of this matrix, as they call it, framework. This is like, wow, I can't make any friends and all that. What's going on here? Well, you're not part of the system anymore. You haven't been deleted, but you're outside of it. So it's like being outside the forest, but you see the kingdom in. It's like, whoa, you see the kingdom within the forest, and it is not a pretty place. So you are on the planet, of course, but you're not, because some of you can really be in the thick of it all. Like in government or an attorney or something. And there are people in those positions, but some of you is like, I'll just be outside of all this and just do it on an energy level. Yes, write books or listen to, your internet, your videos and all that, because you're actually working outside the system. So it's a little bit complicated there. As black goo consciousness, yes, we are there to remove memories, but also create new ones, but also there to help with entertainment, meaning that there's two sides of the black goo, the positive and dark side. The dark side brings in the reptilians. It's kind of like black goo is like a surveillance of your planet, but we don't have all the details. We just know it's like, it a lot of times doesn't be able to see exactly what you're doing, but then the others are, you can be able to tap into it if they need to. So think of like black goo all over the world, almost like a satellite technology. Well, it's used as a tool. So its tool has been understood by other aliens who control their society. And you're here to unlock it. So once again, some of you that are or many of you are outside the system. You feel like, oh, I'm just a regular old Joe. I'm nobody. Well, that is up to you to call yourself that. But in the long run, you're outside. Yeah, once like I said, outside the system. Now you might get things to function in life, a blender, whatever you need. That's fine. But remember the mindset you have. You don't want to be a part of the media or any of this. That says a wake up call to the system that's there to hold you down. You might read the news, but you don't get pulled into its frequency as you might have in the past, especially growing up with family members. And a lot of family members or parents are holographic beings. It gets a little strange there, doesn't it? Not all of them are, but I mean, they're human. They still have a function here, but they're here, but they're not here. Some of them are actually real humans. But a lot of them are just because, the school system is a program, as you know, but the parents is the most powerful one. Obviously, many of you have rebelled against your parents for good reason. But think about the manufactured parent. Now, obviously, there's many parents that are real. They know the risk. Am I real? Yes, you are, most likely. But others aren't. You're going to dismiss all of this. Yes, it gets a little strange with that, doesn't it? But is it all really that strange? Right.